I love talking to Lauren Fix because she knows cars so well, and a lot of her eerie warnings about EVs have come to pass right now, especially on word now that Fisker could be on the brink of a default, and that a number of other key EV makers and their stocks have been downgraded in just the last 48 to 72 hours. So, Lauren, what the heck? What's going on?
Well, it looks Tesla stock's all over the place, but it always has been. But he's a unique piece of the pie because
he's the guy right now.
He's the guy,
right?
And he will survive. I mean, all the things that I've said about him in the past, I have to say, I give him credit. He has made it happen. He's actually making a little bit of money, but he makes his money off the carbon credits he sells to other brands. So I give him credit for being smart. Okay. Companies like Lucid just signed a deal for $1 billion from the Saudis who are investing in his company. So you will see Lucid survive. $1 billion is a lot of money, but you can't have a loss and make it up in volume. So
but you don't think it's a promising technology, or you do, it's just not going to dominate the world? It's
not going to dominate the world. I think that there's a place for it. You will never see all electric, and I've said this multiple times. Just sort of like I said, cash for clunkers was a bad idea.
Right. Remember that?
I remember that, yeah. I mean, these are the kind of things that sound great. The cars are fantastic. Every brand is putting out super impressive product. Kia, Hyundai, Honda, Toyota, everybody's putting out cool product, really cool, edgy product. It shows that they have the capability. The problem is the infrastructure. And I just drove an electric vehicle we were testing in Northern California. 4 charging stations, fast chargers, one of them was working. And what was there was a Tesla plugged in, and the person disappeared. They went to lunch or whatever.
Right.
Well, that's great, but if you need a charge, you need to get somewhere, no one wants to be relying on this. So what the perfect answer is hybrid. Now, think about a Prius back then, when everyone said, they're kind of okay.
Yeah.
But that technology is now what people want. They don't want necessarily plug-in. They want that hybrid technology. You're going to see a lot of those at the New York Auto Show.
You get a lot of miles. Right.
And you can drive electric in the city.
Right.
You want to putt around and run your errands. You get about 30 miles of range, up to about 35 miles an hour, and then the gas engine picks up. So if you want to do a trip from New York to Florida, you can.
But there's a difference with the plug-in hybrids versus the regular hybrids. What's that about?
So a plug-in hybrid means you plug in at a charging station, you get your electricity that way generated, and when it runs out of that battery power, 30 miles of range, then it switches.
That's the most it does?
It depends. Some are 38 miles, or some will be 40 miles. But then you switch onto the gas engine, which is a small fuel-efficient engine, which uses the electric portion to get the vehicle going. So when you hear about these cars that are electrified, it's a 48-volt architecture. So in other words, it uses that electricity to get the car propelled, to get it going. So you no longer have that, what we call turbo lag.
But you don't see a sudden point where we agree on a standard charging method. All of a sudden we get more range, that it changes and people rush to EVs?
I don't see that happening. I do like the fact that we're finally getting to using Tesla's charging stations, and we're all going to be on the same. In Europe, they don't have this problem. This is a unique problem to North America, where everybody's got their own charging connection. And I know Ford's giving out adapters as well as other brands, so you can charge the Tesla charging interface.
So in Europe, it's like a single standard?
It's a single standard.
So we don't have that allows for growth.
Right. It allows for growth, but even certain countries like Norway and so forth, they're starting to realize, this may not be the case with the weather. Because you can control a lot of things, but you can't control the weather. And when it's cold and snowy, you lose your range.
I don't want to get a Norwegian driver. What the heck is wrong with it? Lauren, you're the best. Lauren Fix. I told you, she is a genius with this stuff.